Welcome back. So it's the end of May, so we're going to go through the films that I have watched through May. Some of the ones I've watched with my daughter, some of my partner, and some I've watched on my own while I was working. So the first lot, so some of it is streaming and some of it is like physical media. And I've literally just completely forgot the physical media in it here. So The Hobbit, number 2. So we've basically bought this last month. We watched the first one at the end of April. Yes, I could do my months. April. So then we've basically on the 2nd of May we watched the second one, and as you're going to see soon, I think it's the 4th of May we watched the third one. But I enjoyed it. The second one was okay. I felt like I said this to my partner. So there's a lot of little things, but not a lot of happening. The dragon sort of comes at the end. The extended edition is great for if you like the dragon, because my partner remembers, and she has watched recently. I say recently, like a year or so ago, and she said that you get a lot more dragon in the extended edition. I'm always up for more dragon, but yeah, I thought it was all right. Just a bit like it's dragged. Drag's the wrong word, but just for me, I felt like, come on, let's go, sort of thing. On the 4th of May, watched Peter Pan. Yeah, classic for a reason. 1953. Always surprised me how old this one is. When you watch it, the art style is it does show you the age, but it is a great one. I watched the face of my little one while I was doing just stuff in the background, and she's got that little Tinkerbell sort of dolly, so she really enjoyed it for that purpose, and she's read the book, so she got a bit out of it. And yeah, I haven't seen it in ages. I haven't really seen it in ages. It's one of those, the old ones I kind of forget about, but it's a good one. So yeah, it's fun to watch. And like I say, on the 4th, when we treated ourselves to an evening watch, we watched the extended edition of The Hobbit, the third one, and the Battle of the Five Armies. The battle is really, really good. I enjoyed it. I just the fighting and the big battle is really good. I am looking forward to watching the Lord of the Rings series now. We watched extended, like I say, we watched the extended of The Hobbit. We've got the extended now of Lord of the Rings to watch. Wasn't the biggest fan of The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings, but the older me actually enjoyed it. So maybe it's just not the right time for me. But yeah, it was good. Looking forward to, like I say, Lord of the Rings and see what I think of it now at an older age. So now on the 9th of June, we watched 28 Years Later. So I have seen partly 28 Days Later, but I couldn't really get into it, so I stopped. And so I haven't touched 28 Weeks Later. So this is sort of me getting back into the franchise. It was okay. The fighting, the gore, and that was pretty good. I can't remember the exact film, so I am sorry. It might actually say here. Let's have a little look. Yeah, the temple one. I've heard people think sometimes that's better. Then some people prefer this one, so I'm not sure which. Maybe I prefer the temple one. We'll find out. Hopefully I'll watch that next month or so. But yeah, it was okay. I wouldn't watch it again. And it's weird. I'm sort of people I follow. But yeah, I wouldn't watch it again. Put it that way. Now the next one is one that I again watched with my daughter, and it was on the 10th of May, and it's Emperor's New Groove. So again, I've got a physical media recently, so I had to watch it. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's a really good sort of film. It's one of my favourites. I feel like it's not as up there as one of the Disney classics. It should be. It is really funny. The jokes are funny. I feel like, especially as a parent, you probably get a bit more out of it than some of the kids do. There is definitely a lot for the kids as well. Quite an easy one to say. I just really, really enjoy it. And the 4K is actually really good. Shame you can only get in America, annoyingly. But yeah. Then a bit of a gap, and then we had the 13th of May, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So this I thought was, it kind of has the same concept as the first one, but I just didn't think this one gelled as well and was not as fluent as the first one. The Easter eggs were here and there, where I feel like maybe this is where the first one was just, I feel like there's just Easter eggs everywhere. It was like a Mario Party in a way. But it was okay. I don't know if I will watch it again. And if you're a Rosalina fan, don't go and watch this because you're basically in it for like 2 minutes. But yeah, it's all right. We enjoyed it for the one watch, but I don't think I'll watch it again. Okay, so now on the 14th of May, we have a Billy Madison. So this is another thing I picked up on Vinted. I thought, well, you got to watch it, you know. You don't just buy films to sit on your shelf. So I thought, well, I've picked it up. I need to watch it. So we did, and it's not one of his best. I'm not gonna lie, it's not one of his best, but I did enjoy it, and I always kind of forget how much I enjoy it until I see it. Especially at the beginning, the penguin bit's funny, but it's just that whole little build up before he goes to school. It's a bit cringy. It's a bit like, oh man, but once he goes to school, it's a lot better, in my personal opinion, and it's just funny. It is funny. Bit weird thinking that was it 27-year-old be back in school now. Don't think that'd be a concept now, but it was good. And my wife was not too. If I put a film on, she's like, "Oh yeah, not too sure about this one." So, but she ended up like laughing, and she would get kind of like, "It's okay." Not one of the best ones, of course, but. So on the 17th of May, we have got The Fox and the Hound. So this is one that, again, basically what I do is got a drawer, and I have to like show you one day. Is I pull it out and say to my little girl, pick a film, and she might pick 2 or 3. So I might pick them out and then give the option out of those 3. This is one that she picked, and again, she hadn't seen it before from my memory, and I hadn't seen this in ages, and I forgot how sad it is. Like it's a really quite a sad one. I know most Disney films, especially back in the day, has got like the sad parent dying or whatever sort of thing. I'm not going to say too much because you haven't seen it. It's definitely worth a watch. But it's just, I forgot, yeah, it kind of caught me guard how sad it is. But for different reasons. Not, yeah, just a little about friendship, and like they're not obviously meant to be, they're the opposite. He hunts him sort of thing, you know? So if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. My little one didn't really care too much about it, which is not surprising. Didn't have enough going for her, I don't think. Doesn't really have any songs or anything, so she was more interested in something else. Then we watched on that evening on the 17th of May, the first of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, let me change my. So we watched Guardians of the Galaxy. So I thought I always really enjoyed this one the most. It's good, and it's definitely like the sound. I think the soundtrack of this one is better than the second one. The songs they got in this is amazing, and like I can understand why they made a vinyl, and the songs on it are just really, really good. But it was just, I actually prefer, and I'll talk about it in a second, but I prefer the second one. But it's good. It gets you into the Guardians of the Galaxy world. James Gunn is the director, so you've got that sort of humour in here. But just trying to get through my Marvel films, you know, it's got to get to the end game before Doomsday. So then we have on the 18th of May, we have The Crow. So I put this on with my wife and she hated it within 20 minutes. Fair enough. But because I started it, I was like, I'd like to try and finish it. So, and also basically Snarky J, the YouTuber, she loves this, and this is where I'd never really heard of it, but she wanted to point it out. She's very much a fan and talks about it if she can, sort of thing. It was okay. Like I won't watch it again, and the fact that Brandon Lee, who's Bruce Lee's son, passed away making this film was rather sad. I didn't realise that until I was just reading about it. I think luckily he, in the sense of the film wise, he passed away towards near the end of making the film. So they didn't have to do any weird, that I could notice anyway, CGI stuff or anything like that. I think they had a double that they were quite able to do it without you really noticing. But it's a good film. It's very dark. It is, you can tell the age. But it is worth a watch, I'd say. It's a bit different, a bit darker. No comedy or anything like that sort of thing. And yeah, definitely worth a watch. So my wife mentioned My Big Fat Greek Wedding the day before, and I thought, well, I'll give it a watch while I'm working because it's a comedy and I've never seen it before, and it was okay. like it's got some funny bits in it. I don't think it's aged as well as some comedies do. And I have seen there's a 2 and a 3 of this. I'm not sure how, because that means, well, the title is My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Won't go into it, but yeah, it was good. There are some funny bits, like I say, some funny bits in there. Probably won't watch it again, but I'm glad I've seen it once. And then on the 19th of May was the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like I say, I actually enjoyed this more. Only a little bit though. But the soundtrack is not as good as this. But I found the humour and everything a lot more enjoyable. And the story was kind of cool. I feel like this one was a bit too long. I think it's like 2 hours 20 ish, 2 hours 10, 15, something like that. The first one was a bit longer than what it needed to be. But it was good. I'm happy I watched it and enjoyed it. Just a bit surprised by how long it was. And unfortunately, the soundtrack is hard to, compare to the first one. But I think we're almost like halfway now going through the Marvel films. So we're getting there. So the next one is Office Space. And this was recommended in a video from a comment, and I can't remember who it is. Sorry, I can't remember what video it is now. It was a while ago they mentioned it. So I added it to my letterbox, and I just happened to thought, well, while I'm working, I'll put this on. This one has not aged as well as I think it. Maybe some people. I think it's more like a nostalgia thing. I watched it. There's some bits I get, and like the whole office vibe and that sort of thing. I kind of got when I used to work in an office job. So I got the funny bits of that. It does get a bit weird towards the end, all the way through the film. Yeah, it wasn't that thing I'd watch again. But I'm glad for the recommendation. Always down to recommendations. This one wasn't quite for me. So the next one, and this one has been on my list for so long. Honestly, since it came out, Interstellar from Christopher Nolan. I have had this on Blu-ray. Then it just sat there and sat there and sat there. And I think we watched it maybe a year after it came out. So what we're looking 2015, 16. We had an attempt to watch it. But the problem we had, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Sometimes you just got to pick the right time for a film. We're maybe in the wrong mindset. We maybe only got like 20 odd minutes into the film. And then we put it down and we didn't touch it again. I think it basically scarred my wife. Every time I mentioned it, she was just like, oh, but we didn't get very far. And I was like, no, we didn't actually. So then I'll do the same. I'm like, no, let's put it to the side. But it's Christopher Nolan, so I was like, I've got to give it a go. I really appreciate his work and what he does. And then I found out, obviously, when I'm collecting 4Ks in that now and just movies, they've got 4K of this. So I had to give it a go. And like I say, one of those things that's on my 3 for 50, and I tried to watch things that I buy and trying to remember. So this is a good film. Very, very good film. Bit weird at the end, confusing how things are happening. But I just kind of blanked that out and just appreciated the story. It is sad in bits. The fact that I am a dad to a little girl sort of made me connect a little bit with the character. I don't know if I'd be able to ever do what he did, but yeah, probably not. I'm a bit like, nah. But very good. I'm sure most of you have seen it now. If you haven't, it's definitely worth a watch. Okay, so the 22nd of May, I was like in this weird mood, and I was like, do you know what? I need to start watching more films that I'm not familiar with or more comfortable in my genre. I have a very set sort of place. Musicals is very one that is not for me, 9 times out of 10. And I thought, well, I really like The Greatest Showman. And if someone had told me, well, that's just a musical, I wouldn't have watched it. So I sort of went into that mindset with La La Land. The same with Wicked. I knew that was a musical, but I actually didn't mind Wicked. So yeah, did the same thing with La La Land, but it just doesn't hit. I just didn't enjoy it. There's little bits in there that are like, it's fine. It's very old school musical, and that's probably maybe my issue is I'm not really an old school musical, but like I said, I didn't mind Wicked. That's sort of old school-y, so yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. Not my thing. But we'll just leave it there, I think. So then on the 27th of May, I watched The Fall Guy. And this is while I was working. I was just thought I'd cast in the background. It's really easy to watch. And yeah, it's pretty average for me. I gave it 2.5 stars. I'm like, look, so what's a 5 out of 10? That might be a bit harsh. Just though. I just thought it's very silly. It's quite a longish film. I didn't think it needed to be as long as it was. That's a good concept, but the guy broke his back, and then the next thing you know, he's just doing stuff, and I was just like, this is very just leave it at that. It was okay. And then on the same day, I was like, I need something different, so I put This Is It, Michael Jackson, and you forget how good he was. And unfortunately, we was stolen something that could have been really amazing. I'm not, as a person, as a Michael Jackson, not going to go there. But as a musician and an entertainer, he is something else. And going through this and giving you each little, basically what they do, I don't know if you've ever seen it. If you haven't, it's worth a watch. It's very insightful to how he thinks in the music and that. But basically, it's broken down to each song that they're going to do for the show. And the stuff that they're going to plan, some of it was just pretty simple stuff, in the sense it's just him and maybe some backing singers and some dancers. There's some bits where they've gone out and done a 3D like thriller with some zombies and stuff, and you're like, we missed out on that. We're never going to see it. It's a shame. And some bits it's just very interesting, because it even has bits where like he's not happy with something, and the guy, I think it's on the piano, he's just like, well, tell me what you're happy with, because I can't hear what you want me to hear. It sounds good to me, but it's not for me, so let me know. And he was like, okay, I'll let you know. So the fact that he's hearing things or missing or hearing little things that other people can't hear is great. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, it's definitely worth a watch. Like I say, it's a shame we didn't get to see it in person, and it's really mind blowing that some of the stuff you're watching is like 8-9 days before he passes away, basically. And missed, but it's worth a watch if you haven't seen it before. So that's my list for May. It ends on the 27th, just because I am going away soon, so I don't think I'm going to have any more movies in May. If I do, I'll add them at the beginning of the June one. But let me know what sort of movies you've been watching this month. Any of these ones you're thinking, how have you not enjoyed that? I'm always down for the conversation in the comments below. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new around here, please subscribe. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.